One-on-One with Jane Mitchell, featuring the legends.
Legends are usually people with at least a few decades of life under their belt, but perhaps an exception can be made in the case of the Parkview Little League All-Stars. In 2009, with big bats and big smiles, they became the Boys of August, the Blue Bombers, and the 2009 Little League World Series champions. In this edition, we return to their glorious journey from little boys to champions, and we will see where they are now as young men, most in college pursuing their dreams. But first, what they accomplished back in 2009 is something few can claim, and we all can celebrate. Parkview's story is centered around baseball, but it is so much more, as the team from Chula Vista not only captured a title, but captured our hearts. With every pitch, snag,
he caught it,
throw,
Rios takes it, fires,
and hit,
line drive.
the team of tiny and not so tiny giants blazes their victory trail. From hot summer, less than glamorous games,
So high we can't even see it.
to the spotlight on national television and ESPN.
Chula Vista will start your celebration.
Through adversity, they find triumph. Through it all, they've grown up. The Parkview All-Stars have their Little League World Championship, and baseball has sustained its place in our culture because of moments like this. Moments not only of achievement, but of such meaning, momentum, and magnitude that their victory is our victory. Their year is part of our collective memory. Their dreams are part of our imagination.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your starting lineup. Number 6, Andy Rios.
I'm 13 years old. My position is shortstop. My favorite baseball player is Dustin Pedroia because he's on my favorite baseball team.
13 months old, he'd hear the garage open up and he'd be running out the garage with a bat, a ball, and 2 gloves. And he was barely talking, and all he would say was ball, poppy, ball, poppy.
And it is in learning more about them and hearing from their parents that we appreciate more their journey and what might be ahead.
Number 19, Kiko Garcia.
I'm a center fielder and a pitcher. I'm 13, and my favorite player is Tony Gwynn because he is Mr. Padre.
He started playing when he was 2 with the YMCA, 2 or 3 years old, but he has always been really high energy. Whatever he does fully, 100%.
Number 27, Luke Ramirez.
I'm 13. I play first base and pitcher, and my favorite player is Adrian Gonzalez because he grew up around the San Diego area.
He was a really good kid. He had this one little bat he played with all the time, and there was this little plastic ball that he would hit when he started crawling.
Welcome, number 20, Bola Graf.
I'm 12 years old. My position is second base. My favorite baseball player is Derek Jeter because he's an all-around great player.
Bula is a very big-hearted child. He thinks of everybody else but himself. His older brother is a senior this year, and so Bula got to grow up around the baseball field in Pampers and just playing wiffle balls in the front yard and being really competitive from a young age.
Here is number 16, Bradley Roberto.
I'm 13, I play right field. My favorite player is Adrian Gonzalez because he plays first base, he's a lefty, and he's a great role model.
He's always happy, nothing ever gets him down. If you can ask him to do anything, you can ask him to do all the chores for all 6 kids and he'll just, okay, he'll be really happy and he'll just do it. So he's always been my easiest kid.
Number 24, Oscar Castro.
I'm 13, I play third base. My favorite player is Jake Peavy because he's an all-around great pitcher.
When he started playing a Little League when he was very little, he came home after practice and he said, "I want to do this forever, Mom." I said, "Okay, you can do whatever you want to do as long as you're willing and you put, big effort into it."
Known as Junior, number 7, Daniel Porras.
I'm 13 years old. I play catcher, and my favorite player is Joe Mauer because he's a great catcher and he won MVP.
He started playing baseball since he was, a toddler. And we have video of him like a 1-year-old, hitting the ball really hard. He's extremely shy around adults and people that he's not comfortable with, but he is hilarious around his friends. He's like the class clown and the group clown in the baseball team.
Number 23, Isaiah Armenta.
I'm 13, my position is pitcher. My favorite player is Heath Bell because he doesn't crack under pressure.
We had a Suburban because we had 5 children, and we had to sit him in the back seat, and we had to make sure there was nothing around next to him, close to him, near him, behind him, nowhere, because he would literally grab it and throw it at us. And he wouldn't throw like a baby throw, he would throw really hard, and we'd joke around, oh, Isaiah's gonna be a pitcher.
Number 13, Seth Godfrey.
I'm 13 years old. I play third base, and my favorite player is Josh Hamilton because he has the home run record at the Home Run Derby.
Seth is very quiet, humble, responsible, caring, thoughtful young man. He was this little statistician that knew all the MLB players from across the country and was following all the games and the aspiring new rookies and all.
Number 12, Marcus Malin.
I'm 13, I play center field, and my favorite player is Manny Ramirez because he used to be on my favorite team, the Red Sox.
He's funny, silly. He's a good kid. He cares about people.
Yeah, I just taught him, a lot about responsibility, and once you start something, you stick to it no matter what.
Wearing number 15, Jensen Peterson.
I'm 13. I play catcher. My favorite player is Honus Wagner because he's a great baseball player.
Like a teddy bear. He looks kind of big and gruff on the outside, but he's got a really soft heart and he's very pretty sensitive. So he's very caring towards other people.
Outspoken, and he will do just about anything. A lot of antics, a little crazy.
And finally, number 8, Nick Conlon.
I'm 13, I play outfield, and my favorite player is Tony Gwynn Jr. because he plays outfield too.
His first word in life was ball. When he's doing an activity or something that he really likes, he just goes for it, and it's pretty hardcore.
He puts himself into everything. Yeah. Kind of makes him who he is. But he loves to win. It's all about winning.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and winners they are.
Your 2009 Little League World Series champion.
12 boys, 12 backgrounds, 12 personalities. With the leadership of coaches and parents, they became one. Up next, the story of how it all began. Then reliving the nationally televised moments when the Dazzling Dozen visited our studio. And later, an essay assignment about their time in the spotlight. For the Parkview Little League All-Stars, becoming 2009 Little League World Champions began with a love of the game, talent, and a vision of what might be. Not the boys' vision at first, but the vision of a father who had an epiphany, and another dad who stepped out of the classroom to coach. Rod Roberto makes his living crunching numbers, thinking strategically as a financial planner. But his shiny professional awards on display don't compare to his wall of priceless pictures.
This is when we finally beat Rancho Santa Margarita here in Claremont and San Diego and Claremont Mesa.
Reminders of his son Bradley's special summer of 2009.
When we finally get to Williamsport, the first game is Kentucky, and Luke had hit 2 home runs that game. Kiko threw a 1-hitter, and Bradley hit a triple and a home run.
Rod, from a Navy family, grew up in San Diego's South Bay, played Lucky Waller Little League, then graduated from Bonita Vista High School and UCSD. When he became a father to 3 boys, he made sure his job had flexibility to be at their T-ball and Little League practices. Bradley's mother, Christine Santos.
He's been out on the field since he was 2 and 3. So as soon as he can, hit a ball off a tee, he was just out there.
Everybody thinks I helped him with his swing and the way he played, but he was just very natural at it.
At Little League age, Rod coached Bradley and Parkview teammates Daniel Porres and Seth Godfrey when they were 7. 5 years away from the 12-year-old category to compete to be the best in all of Little League. Then came Bula Graft and Andy Rios, and a conversation with their parents.
So all of a sudden we had 5 kids that we said, wow, this is pretty good. And wait till these kids turn 12. And then we found Marcus.
When San Diego's North County's Rancho Buena Vista team went to the Little League World Series in Williamsport in 2005.
We can probably do the same thing.
So is this you trying to relive your childhood dreams?
I think it was more we wanted to get the kids better.
And what are the kids thinking from your perspective at this time?
They're not thinking anything. They're just kids. They don't know what's going on.
In 2006, the boys turned 9. Rod Roberto was a team manager and on Parkview's board. He and parents of the core group created a travel team to play in the off-season.
Parkview Little League at the time was a league that everybody beat in All-Stars. It wasn't well known. I just wanted Parkview to be the league that everybody came to, that you played baseball and you did it the right way. But unfortunately, you got to win. We figured that we have to get these kids more repetition. In travel teams, they take kids from other leagues and put them together. I didn't want to do that. I only wanted Parkview kids. And so that's when I met Rick Ramirez and Luke.
Rick Ramirez is a 5th grade teacher.
Hey guys, let's go.
At Finney Elementary School in Chula Vista.
So the words in here we said were what? Sharp eyes, right?
This day, the tables are turned. Instead of his students sharing for an assignment, he takes us to a favorite moment from his summer of 2009.
I couldn't even feel my body. I was just jumping up and down. Yes! 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 And then watching all the kids pile.
Like Rod Roberto, Rick Ramirez also grew up with baseball, playing at Parkview Little League, Chula Vista High, Southwestern College, Upper Iowa University, then first base at UC San Diego and in the Division III World Series.
All along, I wanted to be a teacher. Baseball was the thing that kept me motivated in school as well, because I knew you need to have an education to play baseball.
He and Casey Glazer, a basketball player at Hilltop High School and teacher, married in 1995 and had Luke May 15, 1996.
He was 8 pounds, 11 ounces. Not as big as people expect. They expect me to, say 10 pounds, but he wasn't.
The family went to Padres games. Rick started coaching his younger son's Little League team, but at 8, Luke was not a standout player, only mildly interested in baseball, although his brother Ben, a shortstop, looked up to him.
Luke always helped me out when I needed help in baseball. Yeah, it was cool.
Luke struggled with being bigger than other kids in an awkward way.
He was clumsy and just not very coordinated. And so we looked at each other and just kind of said, well, maybe he's not going to be a baseball player.
Basketball.
Yeah.
But as Luke adjusted to his growing body, something clicked when he was 9.
I hit my first home run, and I guess that kind of sparked it, and I just had that drive to get better, and I just want to hit more home runs and stuff, so I think that was probably it.
Rod Roberto noticed as he was following his epiphany to develop the future All-Star team.
And I asked Rick, I remember him sitting on the line, I go, hey, does your son pitch?
He knew what players he needed to make a good team.
And he goes, yeah, he pitches. And I said, well, I'm thinking about drafting him first. And he said, that'd be great.
And little did I know that team he was thinking about was the All-Star team.
Every team that goes, if you watch the Little League World Series, always has a kid bigger than his age. And we got that kid. We got Luke.
And while the idea of growing an all-star team might seem black and white on paper, even for a numbers guy, retracing the journey and all it would bring reveals how emotion and heart were part of the equation. As a father, how are you feeling watching him and seeing what he's doing, and for all these kids, but for him in particular?
No. Because the kids, it isn't just Bradley.
Yeah.
It's all of them.
The work, the challenges, and validation that they were doing it right. Up next on One, the boys reliving the championship season. And later, a mini reunion to reminisce. Winning the Little League World Series championship is impressive. Just consider the scope of the competition. About 7,000 teams from around the world play some 20,000 games to eventually be one of only 16 teams to go to Williamsport for the Little League World Series contest. Chula Vista's Parkview was there in 2009 representing the West, and we invited the champions to our studio to reminisce about becoming a dream team. While taking pictures and putting on microphones, they have the typical energy of 12 and 13-year-old boys, and they're well-mannered. Welcome to the Channel 4 studios, and what I loved was last September when I met you guys, Kiko said, Jane, this isn't going to be a one-on-one, it's going to be a 1-on-12, right, Kiko? And today with your two coaches, that means it's a 1-on-14. We start with their love of the game.
When we were a little kid, playing baseball wasn't like for something, it was just to have fun, and yeah, I had fun a lot.
Unaware of the adult strategy to get them to the World Series, the boys on the Travel Ball Club are first selected for the 10-year-old All-Star team. Parkview wins district, then sectional for the first time, then lose in the subdivisional round. There was one team that you guys could not beat. Rancho Santa Margarita, a team 90 miles northeast of home.
We were 10 and 11. Every time we always went to the losers bracket because of them. Then we faced them in the championship, we'd always lose. So then this year we're just hoping, let's just break this streak this year since it counts. And breaking that streak meant keeping the team together. While Little League rules allow outstanding 11-year-olds to move up to 12-year-old all-star teams, Parkview President Rod Roberto convinced parents and the board to keep this team intact. So come time to pick the 2009 All-Stars to wear the green, black, and white PV uniforms, the 96 players from 8 Parkview teams vote for 7 of the boys.
To have the players around us believe in us to go this far was cool.
The coaches pick the final 5. With Rick Ramirez now coach and Oscar Sr. the team manager, their primary goal still isn't Williamsport, but to continue to do whatever's necessary to beat their nemesis, Rancho Santa Margarita.
Seemed like better athletes overall, so we just felt that in order to beat a team like that, we needed to become better athletes. So we just, we had a friend bring an instructor out and basically had the kids running all over the place and doing all sorts of speed and agility. And we found that it was helping.
And to lose a little of their baby fat, I read.
A little bit, yeah, that was a bonus.
We needed to get more in shape and be athletic to beat the tough teams that we're going to face.
It pays off. At the end of July 2009, Parkview beats their arch rival, Rancho Santa Margarita. Then after beating Torrance in the best-of-3 series, Parkview advances to represent Southern California in the Western Region Tournament in San Bernardino, California. It's August and hot, and they're living in dorms. For 10 days, no parents, except coaches Rick and Oscar, are allowed in the complex, just in the stands.
It was kind of funny we're the only team doing homework, too.
The coaches give them an option.
Do you guys want to have fun, or you guys just want to go out and actually try to win this thing? Of course, I want to win this, because I want to go to Williamsport. And I knew we had the team that could do that.
We were so close already.
So close. So everybody was agreed?
We knew if we won that the fun would come in winning.
They beat Utah, Hawaii, Arizona, and Nevada by a combined score of 72-9.
Bula Kraft is the batter, and again he shows a good eye, takes the pitch downstairs.
After defeating Nevada again, the final game against Northern California is televised nationally on ESPN.
The winner of this game will go to Williamsport and play in the Little League World Series that will begin on Friday.
Bases are loaded, right? Game is tied, 3-3. Bradley, you're at the plate.
Greer's 3-2. Walks in a run.
Great at bat by Bradley Roberto.
That run puts them ahead as they eventually win.
Southern California heading to Williamsport.
Home of the Little League World Series since 1947. They arrived late the next night.
We pulled up in the bus. I guess they left the lights on for us to get there. It was just amazing. I mean, I've never seen anything more beautiful in my life. It's just like the number one dream of any Little Leaguer is to just see that field, and for us to be able to play on it was just incredible.
I heard that when you were there, and this is a pretty cool place to be, that somebody was asking girls for extra hugs.
Jensen!
How'd that work out for you, Jensen? I'm sorry. Bula, what did you think when you first saw those baby blue uniforms that you got that said West?
So pretty.
They're cute. Nick, what did you think of when you first put on that uniform?
We made it.
Unbeknownst to the boys, Little League volunteer Tony Garcia had asked some Padres to record a message, which Rick and Oscar played for them right before their first game.
I want to wish Parkview Little League a lot of success, a lot of fun, good luck in Williamsport, and bring back a title back to Chula Vista. You're making us proud, and keep doing your job, guys.
I just want to wish you all the best at the Little League World Series. Go bring it home for San Diego. Make us proud. I know you will. Just all you have to do is go out there and play hard.
Just wishing you well, wishing you good luck in Williamsport. Hope you guys bring it back to San Diego with the championship. Good luck, have fun.
Just want to wish you guys the best of luck. Keep up the good work. Bring it home for San Diego.
I thought it was great just seeing our heroes, all of our heroes from the Padres, just showing that they support us and that they want us to win it and bring it back to San Diego.
They're one of 8 teams from the United States playing for 4 spots in the elimination round, while another 8 teams compete in the international grouping. Parkview starts off hot, beating Great Lakes 15-0 and New England 14-0. Did it seem easy?
Not easy.
Not easy.
It was, no.
Andy, what do you think?
Teams showed up like they wanted to play, but we came out with our A game.
ESPN featured what you guys were doing, and they called you, the Blue Bombers.
The explosive bats from Chula Vista, California have the tournament buzzing.
Luke, try to hit it over that flagpole.
A phenomenal hitting show being put on here. There's another one. Oh, Merson.
We're going boom, boom, pow, baby.
Yeah. Then they face their toughest test, Texas. With that one loss, they must win the next game or they're done. Determined, on their day off, they practice by playing wiffle ball.
We just kept working. We knew that although we were hitting the ball well, we still weren't, at least where I felt, that where we needed to be.
The next day you come back, and I just think that Georgia game had a little bit of everything in it.
Shallow center, Mella makes a diving catch. Got the runner off first. Another double play. Unbelievable. How about that? That's great.
I love diving, so I just ended up going down on the ground and catching it and getting the guy out. So getting a double play was cool.
Then an admitted defensive collapse.
When California gets out of this pickle, gets away, dashing home, and he scores. And now the second man comes around. Georgia scores twice on that play. They now lead it 9-5.
Jensen, what were you thinking during the middle of that game?
That we still have a chance to beat them and all that, and that we were the better team.
And then finally, in the bottom of the 6th, in that final inning, let's watch that.
Line drive, left field. Conlon is being waved home, and now he has to get back. The throw, not in time.
I knew the guy had the ball, and coach was sending me, but the catcher had the ball, so I just went back to the bag because I didn't want to get out.
Yeah. Good call, good call. They move on after winning a rematch with Texas.
Luke Ramirez with a home run and a one-hitter being congratulated by Mom. And Chula Vista moves on to the championship game.
Did you have butterflies in your stomach?
Yeah.
I remember when we went out for our run to center field, and Luke said, "This is what we've been working for our whole lives, our dreams, guys. Let's do this."
We welcome you to the Little League Championship game.
Facing Chinese Taipei.
That's status when the Vice President of the United States knows who you are. Ground ball to short. Tags the runner, throws to first. The play by Rios. Chula Vista, start your celebration.
Oh, I wanted to go another pitch.
Yeah,
can't redo.
That was
To see that moment over and over again and to actually know that we're the best team in the world, it was just an amazing feeling.
An amazing feeling the whole San Diego community was celebrating. Next on One on One, the homecoming and hoopla surrounding their victory And later, asking what they want to be when they grow up and how their plans then are shaping up now that they're entering adulthood. In the moment their long journey ends, euphoria begins, with emotion from both sides of the fence, as Oscar's mother remembers.
And I was walking away and he started screaming, "Mom, Mom!" And I came back and I got on my knees and I dropped my bag, I dropped everything. I got on my knees and he said, "I did it, Mama, I did it." And it was just, after that, it was just one emotional day after another, after another, after another.
Did you look up at the stands? Did you see your parents?
Yeah. My mom was just crying hysterically, so I would have gave her a little wave or something, but she was just, so.
Something that we lived through together, you know, and the special part for me, you know, and I'm sure it is for Rick as well, is you spent it with your son too.
For parents, it was worth having their boys in those dorms back in San Bernardino with no access to them for 10 days for that tournament.
No, I understood and I respected it, and I even agreed with them. But I think that my heart was just not ready to let them go that fast.
It was worth juggling their families' lives and finances or accepting community donations to be able to be there.
So I know the boys are very thankful to have their parents and their families to be able to go and watch them play, because we didn't plan this. We didn't plan on going to Williamsport, so we hadn't, you know, not all of us had the money to get there, and then let alone take the whole family. So we were very blessed to be a part of San Diego and Chula Vista.
It was a great joy as a father to see him and the rest of the team mature.
Each player would take a turn being the hero of the game, or the star of the game, or, you know, you could see what a great team they were as the individuals put together.
Crowned champions, their celebrity ignites and the whirlwind begins. After flying back west, a bus ride brings them home to a spontaneous welcome at Southwestern College.
I came to see my boys!
With a surprise visit by comedian George Lopez, rewarding them each with an eye touch.
And we're talking 32 gigabytes, all right?
So they didn't see newspapers, they didn't get to see any media, so they didn't know how huge all of this was.
In Williamsport, we knew that like San Diego was behind us, so we wanted to try to prove ourselves. But as soon as we got home, it was just like, wow, all these people are supporting us. It was just like an amazing feeling.
We thought this was gonna be our families and just like a couple people from around the area, but I mean, it was just amazing how many people were there.
Even more so at a planned victory rally that Friday.
Will you please help me welcome your 2009 Little League World Series champions, the Parkview Little League All-Stars.
VIP treatment includes a trip to Los Angeles for an appearance on NBC's Tonight Show, with fun in the green room before Conan O'Brien tries to keep their ring. It includes the key to the city from Chula Vista and a private dinner at Donovan's Steakhouse hosted by Padre Adrian Gonzalez. And what did you have? Steak?
Steak. Yeah, Heath Bill and Cobb Links.
Ketchup.
Okay. Who didn't? Somebody ordered asked for ketchup.
Love ketchup.
On September 12th, they're guests of the San Diego Padres in the clubhouse at batting practice.
What's up, guys?
Champions.
Yep. You guys made us all proud.
With a surprise, a giant banner for all to see at the ballpark.
So we're going to leave them up all next season.
And throwing out the ceremonial first pitch.
The Parkview Little League All-Stars.
The San Diego Chargers welcome them with high fives and autographs.
Chargers are my favorite football team, and it's nice to come out here and see them.
And they're featured in the Holiday Bowl's Big Bay Balloon Parade.
From Parkview Little League in Chula Vista, the world champions.
And on a float in the Rose Parade in Pasadena. February 2010, they're honored at the Hall of Champions' annual Salute to Champions dinner. Then, with tickets compliments of Southwest Airlines, they venture to the nation's capital, where even in the midst of a snowstorm, the champions and their families meet the president at the White House.
It was great. He's a really good guy for him to have us there and let us have that experience. So we're really thankful.
And they come full circle in March for Parkview's opening day.
I just wish I could go back in a time machine and be able to be a part of these guys and what they've done.
Have any of you gotten big heads because of this?
No.
You know what? That's what I sense, and that's what I hear. So what do you think kind of keeps you grounded?
Coaches. School.
Mom.
Upper Deck made trading cards for the boys and their families, and proceeds from a book about their journey will benefit Parkview. So while there are rewards, there's thought behind what they do as a group, with a big focus on community and charity.
We didn't want to do events that kind of just promoted a business just to kind of exploit the kids, in a sense. I wanted them to learn that to give back. We did things for foster kids, for abused children, for the Kidney Foundation.
Along with their home digital photo albums, many have captured the moments of their odyssey, including local newspapers and television stations.
We had the best fans to know that they're supporting us, even though we're all the way across the country.
When people think of you, what do you want them to think of?
How hard we worked, and even a bunch of 13-year-old kids can go mess around on a big baseball field in front of some cameras and do a lot for a city, and the whole entire city, and that's just what I want to be remembered by.
They became, a band of brothers, and they're gonna be brothers forever.
A band of brothers, no longer little leaguers, but still enthusiastic about their Parkview chant.
Ready, 1, 2, 3.
Alavi, alabo, alavi, bomba, Parkview, Parkview, ra, ra, ra.
They have already dared to dream. Now they dare again, with an invitation to step onto the field where they could play someday. Most of the Blue Bombers want to be Major League Baseball players. Bulla and Jensen prefer pursuing football. But do the boys feel pressure to continue to excel in baseball?
It's not that it's more pressure, it's just like it's more expected from
And
me.
people look up to you.
Yeah.
So more people are gonna look up to you and know what you have done and learn from us.
I asked them to write essays about their experiences, which they read at the studio.
The lessons from my coaches, family, and friends have all taught me many different things in life and how to achieve my goals and to be successful.
The most important thing I learned from this entire journey is that in order to succeed, you'll need sheer determination and persistence. And if you don't have that, it'll be hard to accomplish such a great feat.
The coolest thing that I have done in this whole journey was when we went to Donovan's restaurant to have dinner with Adrian and Edgar Gonzalez and some other Padres. It was really fun because we got to hang out with some of the players and the food was really good.
The coolest part of the journey was to go to the Chargers game. Even though they lost, it was a lot of fun. And I got to hug a Charger cheerleader.
I think the coolest thing on this journey is when we got to be on Conan O'Brien and be on national television.
We went to Petco Park to meet the Padre players. We got a jersey with our names, signatures, go take batting practice, play catch, and go to our positions with the Padre players during the national anthem.
After winning every big game, everyone yells "Party at Andy's." We would all meet at his house, pizza, swimming, football, and pulling an all-nighter.
Thank you to San Diego City. I was thankful for them to support us and also for flying our parents out to Williamsport.
Mine is to all the people in San Diego who helped fundraise, because without them, I don't think my family would have made it out to Williamsport. So thank you for that.
The most important thing I've learned since winning the World Series is that true friends will always be there for you. We are a family and we will never give up even when it gets hard.
The thing that I've learned is probably stay humble, because not every kid can say I won the Little League World Series, and most kids don't get to do what we have done since the series.
I want to tell other kids that play Little League that it's not a waste of time. Someone has to win the whole thing like we did, and there's no reason it can't be you.
They plan to play sports through at least high school, but what do they want to be if being a pro athlete doesn't work out? For Isaiah, a lawyer. Kiko,
I would love to be an agent.
a sports agent.
I love arguing.
Luke, a sportscaster.
I want to take up journalism and kind of actually do what you're doing right now.
Oscar, Bulla, and Nick connect with the military.
Join the Air Force, become a fighter jet pilot.
Because I just give back to my country and stuff.
Jensen and Seth foresee coaching. Junior, a CIA agent. And Marcus and Andy, like his father, could be police officers. So far, no plan B for Bradley.
I really don't know. I just want to keep working on baseball.
So what direction did they take? The next step in their journey is next on One-on-One. Blue skies, well-worn grass, a kid-sized diamond. On this day in May 2015, a reunion at Parkview Little League Field includes Bradley and Marcus.
Hey, Bradley, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see
Good
you.
to see you too.
Marcus, look at you guys all grown up.
Along with Jensen and Oscar, Seth makes 5. At a special place that launched childhood baseball dreams.
It's kind of, breathtaking when I first stepped over here because, my first time I step on there, I remember coming down as a little kid, always getting ready for my games or making my first stop at the bathroom or snack bar or whatever.
Actually bringing back a lot of memories. A lot of good times with the guys. Stuck around even after we finished our games for the day. We just stick around, play some wiffle ball on the t-ball field.
Just to be back here brings back memories and on this field and all the friends I've made and meeting all the guys that were on this team was it's a great feeling.
Scoops.
Being a little guy running around, even if I wasn't playing, always just being here, hanging out, watching other games. Always hanging with my mom, working in the snack bar and stuff.
While I was back at school and everyone found out I was part of the Little League World Series team, everyone saw me like as a celebrity. And it was kind of like, I thought it was like died out already, but you could kind of see how big of a deal that was, to be the best team in the world.
For those who couldn't join us, their parents sent pictures and the boys answered questions via email. Between that and talking with Coach Rick and Rod, we update their stories from then to now. Nick Conlon played baseball, football, and basketball at Mater Dei Catholic High School, but repeat knee injuries and surgeries have put his plans to be a firefighter on hold. He writes the World Series experience gave him a winning mentality and so much passion to be great at everything, and that if you have the right people in your life and work hard, you can accomplish a lot. Seth Godfrey went to Bonita Vista High, played varsity baseball 3 of 4 years, received an academic scholarship and is playing baseball at Aurora University near Chicago, studying to be an athletic trainer.
They work at colleges, professional athletes, clinical sites and stuff, just like helping athletes recover and prevent injuries.
How do you think what happened with that experience in winning the Little League World Series championship, how did that impact you or affect you as you moved into high school?
I feel like it gave me a lot of confidence to know that I could play and compete at the next level moving forward.
Did people expect you to be like a superstar?
Yeah, you kind of had some expectations on you. You kind of had like, oh, he's the guy from the World Series, so he must be really good, and sometimes kind of like false advertising, I guess you could say, but I don't know, I just always try to do my best, work my hardest, and that just got me where I am now.
Daniel Porras, or Junior, attended Olympian High, was on the CIF championship team. He's attending Southwestern College, taking a break from baseball, and says he's pursuing a career as a police officer to give back to the community that gave him so much. He writes, "Now I see that our coaches and our teammates taught us perseverance and independence. Also, I learned how to relax and tune everyone out during a stressful moment." While pitching in the CIF championship game, he says, "I had to stay calm and collected, and that is exactly what I did."
Winning all this and going through this whole journey, it taught me a lot. Got me how to be motivated and confident, and brought me throughout high school baseball, summer baseball, and it got me into college.
Marcus Malin attended Otay Ranch High, receiving an academic and partial baseball scholarship to Benedictine College in Illinois, majoring in criminal justice.
Did you ever feel pressure or expectations?
Going into high school, I was nervous because a lot of people knew who I was since Little League. So when I got into there, everyone was like, "Oh, it's Little League kid," all this stuff, and it wasn't bad. It just made make fun of me a couple times, but it got over with.
Injured 3 of his 4 years.
So dealing with those things helped me prepare to make me a better person outside of baseball, and it got me into realizing that, you know, you got to move past it. Not everything's just going to stop because it's not going the way you want to. But in college, some people, when they found out me and Oscar, because Oscar goes to my school, so when they found out me and him were on the team, they're like, "Oh my God, why don't you talk about it? Why don't you tell us?" and all this stuff. And it's just, I don't know, trying to be humble, moving on. So now I'm studying criminal justice out there and playing the game I love.
Isaiah Armenta graduated from Bonita Vista High, where he was a pitcher on the baseball team. He's attending Southwestern College, taking general education classes and working toward his dream of being a professional baseball player. He writes that winning the Little League World Series inspired him to improve himself and learn that you have to enjoy the small things in life. On a different day, we talk with Coach Rick Ramirez, Luke's dad, and the team's architect, Bradley's dad, Rod Roberto.
I look back and, you know, would they've gone where they're at today without the experience? I know some of them wouldn't. Some of them wouldn't believe where they should be at today. And I think so the belief of who they are and who they're becoming made them who they are, made them who they're going to be.
But early fame came with its challenges.
We're talking egos, we're talking hype, we're talking, you know, people who were fans at that time trying to, you know, be friends and things like that. So, you know, we really had to keep that in check. And I have to say that for pretty much the whole team, making those good choices has gotten them to a good place in life right now.
As for performing on the field,
people expected them to do probably more than they were able to at that time. Specifically with Luke, you know. The real downside to coming back was he did come back injured. He had to take some time to get better.
Luke Ramirez played baseball at East Lake High. After taking his freshman year off baseball as a redshirt at Saddleback Community College, he's at Southwestern College taking journalism classes and writes he's excited to play again at the junior college level next season. Oscar Castro went to the Rock Academy, was first-team All-League, and is roommates with Marcus at Benedictine University, majoring in business and economics with a concentration in sports management. As for how the 2009 victory followed him,
kind of a target on your back because everyone knew kind of who you were going into high school. Oh, that's one of the kids from that team. Let's throw our best guy at him, or let's do this, let's do that. But honestly, it kind of gave you a little more drive to succeed while I was playing, and kind of just have a good name for us, for the league, and for myself, just to keep a good rep.
He wants to be a general manager of a sports team, a change after a twice-torn ACL from football. He decided not to apply to the Air Force Academy because of the physical tests required.
That's where I found my drive for education, honestly, during my injury, because you can't play, you can't do much physically. So you find, well, what else can I do? And I've brought that motivation that you don't really have on the field to the classroom, and that really, really helped, honestly.
Very well said, Oscar. I'm seeing you as the GM of a team someday.
Thank you.
Bullagraft attended the Bishop School thanks to an anonymous donor. He was a two-sport star and All-Coastal League for football and baseball, and will play football at William Jewell College in Missouri, where he's studying business to become a lawyer. He writes the championship brought great blessings and is thankful for learning how important school is. He says of his Blue Bomber ties, the one thing that stayed with me the most is being able to be part of a great team and having a brotherhood that will last forever.
How do you think that experience affected you as you move forward into high school?
Prepared me big time because I'm used to big time situations, big crowds, used to people watching you, having a lot of eyes on you.
Jensen Peterson stopped playing baseball after the 8th grade.
I felt like if I wanted to keep playing it, I would have to really love the sport and enjoy it and want to continue to play, but I just didn't have that anymore and I just wanted to stop.
Okay, so what do you love about football and how did you do in your high school football career?
I love the excitement, everything, the big plays, how there's something going on every single play, how much I'm involved. Didn't have the best every single year, but every single year I loved it and had fun throughout it, and I wouldn't give it back for anything.
Jensen went to Otay Ranch and committed to the University of La Verne on a half-yearly scholarship to play football, majoring in business management.
Do you see yourself playing football professionally, or is...
Well, I'll have to see how these next 4 years takes me, but if I had the chance, I would definitely do it.
Kiko's is probably at the highest level right now, playing the game. So, you know, we're all keeping our fingers crossed that he gets that opportunity to continue to play after college.
Kiko Garcia graduated from St. Augustine as a distinguished student honoree, was named one of baseball's top high school pitching prospects, and played on the 14 and under USA baseball team. The freshman helped pitch his Pepperdine Waves to the NCAA regionals. A business administration major, he wants to work in professional baseball. Kiko writes he learned to never give up until the last out, appreciates the special experience he's had, and is grateful we're documenting his Parkview team's story. Andy Rios graduated from Mater Dei Catholic High, where the infielder was first-team All-League. He played his freshman year at Odessa College in Texas, where the team advanced deep into the junior college regionals. He's back in San Diego at Grossmont College to play ball and pursue a career as an athletic trainer. He says the World Series experience gave him confidence because his parents and coaches taught him that if he falls, he has the strength to get back up and succeed.
What do you think you took away from that the most as you went through high school and now into college?
Biggest thing, anything is possible.
Bradley Roberto attended Olympian High School, was a 3-time varsity captain, MVP, and first-team All-League, and he wrestled. The outfielder is playing at Franklin Pierce University, majoring in business management.
Throughout Little League and high school, I was always like one of the top players, like not to be cocky or anything, but I was always starting. But then when I got to college, you know, I was at the bottom of the barrel again. So now every day, like I had to work out extra on my own. So I think, you know, all that hard work has paid off.
What do you see down the road? Do you see yourself being drafted, being picked up by a
Hopefully.
team?
That's what I like to see.
Oh no!
It makes me happy. You know, they're all doing something. They're all doing I think they're all trying to find what they want to do. You know, and it's not forced upon them.
But it's got to make you feel, you know, kind of proud that they think that you guys did a good job too.
Just recently, you know, Jensen Peterson graduated, and he both Oscar and I were there at his little after party, and he attested to the influence that we had on him, and not only as coaches but as family and the extended family, as friends, you know, and it does make you feel good.
While the boys mostly played at different high schools, their young careers have overlapped on the same team, in league play or competing against each other.
Junior was the same high school. Andy played, you know, I played at summer ball with Andy. So, but it's always good to stay in touch.
Marcus and Oscar, they actually played in a school that was in our conference, so I got to see them when we played them this year. But yeah, I keep in touch. I see Kiko. I try to catch a couple of Pepperdine games on like the live cast.
Oh, there it is! Yes! Yes!
It's great to see my friends succeed in whatever they want to do.
In 2012, they had a team reunion with family and friends, and in 2015, a smaller group. They still seem humble, bonded, and grateful for the city cheering them on.
I'd like to thank them, honestly. All the support they gave us, and a lot of people still have for us, just like how they want to see us succeed in life. And even though, I mean, sometimes for most of us, it won't be on the baseball field, just in life.
With many milestones and memories ahead. Returning to our 2010 interview, the boys seemed wise beyond their years.
I think that just learning everything and bringing all this experience together has taught not only me, but all of us that if we work hard and put our mind to something, we could accomplish it.
While we just imagined that they could someday be in uniform for their hometown's Major League team, on this day, they are still happy, free-spirited boys, and it's their idea to recreate an indelible moment, the last out that crowned them world champions.
Chula Vista will start your celebration.
I'm Jane Mitchell. Thank you for watching One-on-One, about the boys who not only captured a title, but also our hearts.
For backstory content, visit 4sd.com.